Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Today, we're diving straight into, well, some pretty massive news in women's rugby.
Oh, yeah. What do we got?
The return of Portia Woodman-Wickliffe to the Black Ferns.
Wow. Okay. That is big news.
Absolutely. And she's got her eyes set firmly on the 2025 Rugby World Cup over in England.
So back from international retirement, because she'd stepped away, hadn't she, after the Olympics?
Exactly. After that second Sevens gold. But now, she's back, signed a new contract with NZ Rugby, already heading into camp next week.
That's a huge boost for the Black Ferns as they look to defend their title. I mean, arguably one of the greatest ever.
No doubt. And look, it wasn't a straightforward pass back, was it?
Doesn't sound like it. What happened?
Well, initially, she seemed pretty firm that, her time in the black jersey was done.
Right, I remember that.
But then she had this really refreshing stint playing over in Japan.
Okay.
And then came back and had an absolutely dominant 3 months with the Blues in Super Rugby Apiki.
Ah, yes. They won the title, didn't they? And she was player of the final.
She was. And apparently that whole experience, it just reignited something.
You can see how it would. Performing at that level again.
Yeah, she actually said the thought of another World Cup started creeping in really early during Apiki, like around game two.
Game two, wow. So that winning environment, playing well, it really sparked something.
Seems like it. And look, if you're enjoying this kind of in-depth rugby chat, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession so you don't miss out on future deep dives like this one.
Definitely worth doing. So it wasn't just a snap decision then?
No, not at all. She apparently had lots of support, her wife Renee, her parents, but she really took her time.
That makes sense. A big call.
And she worked with her mental skills coach, Ann Saunders. Quite a bit to process it all, especially with all the media buzz going on.
Good support system. But wasn't there something else going on, a potential code switch?
Ah, yes. The NRLW factor. That's a really interesting part of this story.
Okay, tell me more. Newcastle Knights, was it?
That's the one. She was lined up for a move there, switch codes.
Yeah.
But the whole deal collapsed.
Elapsed. Why?
It seems the NRL refused to register her contract.
Refused? On what grounds?
Primarily because of her role as an ambassador for MasterCard.
MasterCard, right. They sponsor the Rugby World Cup.
Exactly. The NRL apparently saw that as a potential conflict of interest.
The conflict of interest. Okay. Was it like a specific rule she broke?
That's the thing. According to her agent, Kelly Evans, it wasn't a clear-cut violation of any specific rule. Apparently, the Rugby League Players Association even advised there wasn't an explicit rule against promoting a rival code.
So not a rule breach, but the NRL were still concerned.
Yeah, it sounds like they were worried about setting a precedent, letting a high-profile player actively promote a rival code's major tournament while playing in their league.
Okay. I can sort of see the potential issue there from their perspective, even if it wasn't technically against the rules. So negotiations got tricky.
Sounds like it. Became quite drawn out. Reports suggest the NRL were maybe a bit slow in responding and kept raising these concerns about promotion of other codes.
Right. Did they try to find a middle ground?
Well, Evans and MasterCard were apparently willing to make some concessions.
Yeah.
Like Portia wouldn't make physical appearances at the Rugby World Cup opening weekend, things like that.
Okay, that seems reasonable.
But the sticking point, the real deal breaker, was the NRL wanting a full 6-month pause.
A 6-month pause. On what?
On all her name and image marketing promotions related to the Rugby World Cup during the entire NRLW season, May to October.
6 months. Wow. Given her long-term deal with MasterCard, that sounds pretty unworkable.
Exactly. So the NRLW deal just fell through because of that impasse.
Understandable disappointment for her, I imagine. She seemed quite excited about the challenge.
She did. She mentioned wanting to, showcase opportunities for women across both codes. And she kind of questioned why limitations would be put on women playing sport.
Yeah, it's a fair point. And the RLPA, the Players Association, were they happy?
No, they expressed disappointment too. Lena Kakamo from the RLPA said they really believe she'd be a huge asset to the NRLW.
Adds profile, adds skill.
Totally. And Kakamo also highlighted, the reality for many NRLW players, they're part-time professionals, and these outside income opportunities like ambassadorships are really important.
So it touches on broader issues for female athletes' careers and finances.
Definitely. So the NRLW door closes.
Yeah.
And the Black Ferns door reopens.
Or maybe it was never fully closed in her mind.
Perhaps. But she's aware, of how it might look.
Like it's a backup plan. Or taking someone else's spot.
Right. But she's been really clear. saying she is all in for the Black Ferns. She sees it as a new opportunity.
All in. Good to hear. Any talk about where she might play? Still the wing.
Well, interestingly, she mentioned potentially playing at center.
Center. Okay, that is interesting. Adds a different dynamic.
It really does. Her vision, her power, her offloading game in the midfield could be very exciting.
Absolutely. And she also talked about contributing off the field, didn't she?
Yeah, about helping build that connected team environment. She's sort of reflected on her sevens experience, feeling she could have done more in that space then, and wants to bring that focus now.
That shows real maturity and leadership potential alongside the obvious playing talent.
It does. So, looking towards England 2025, her return has got to be seen as a massive plus for the Black Ferns, surely.
Oh, absolutely. Injecting that level of world-class talent and experience, it's huge. It definitely shakes things up.
So, we're keen to know what everyone listening thinks. What are your initial thoughts on Portia Woodman-Wickliffe being back in black? Is this a game changer for the World Cup defense?
Yeah, let us know. Drop your opinions in the comments section.
We genuinely love to hear what you reckon. And just a reminder, if you like these deep dives, hit that subscribe button for Rugby Obsession.
Her coming back, it really shows her passion still burns bright, doesn't it, after everything?
It really does. It's going to be fascinating watching how she slots back in and impacts that campaign.
Can't wait to see it unfold.
Well, that pretty much wraps up this Rugby Obsession deep dive into Portia Woodman-Wickliffe, a massive return to the Black Ferns.
We've covered her change of heart, that whole NRLW situation, and what it might mean for 2025.
Yep. Hopefully that gave you some good insights into this really significant story.
A lot to think about.
Don't forget to subscribe to Rugby Obsession for more deep dives into the rugby world.
Keep the conversation going in the comments.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. We look forward to you listening to our next episode.